Warning. The Dragon Between podcast may contain language and adult humor that is unsuitable for those 13 years and younger. Viewer discretion is advised. You're listening to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that takes place in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting created by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every Sunday and are released on the following week. You can find the video version on the YouTube channel. And if you like what you see and hear, feel free to drop us a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. Thank you for listening, and now on with the show. When we last met, the battle continued as the characters faced off against the ogre sorcerer and her 8-legged minions. The flying ogre then summoned a new threat to the fray. A freakish, hound-like fiend that set its sights on Lithana, using its howl to incapacitate her momentarily before sinking its fangs into her flesh. As the last of the spiders fell, the party focused their attacks on the sorcerer and her hound, the flying ogre continuing to stay away from the group's ground-based fighters and focusing her attention on Eli. Auri tore the hound to shreds in her bare form, and music landed the final killing strike on Big Mama. With things settled, the party then investigated the ogre camp, discovering a tiny fey creature named Licorice locked in a gilded cage. The sounds of many horses' hooves suddenly announced the arrival of newcomers, samurai that had identified themselves as Clan Ashta. After establishing themselves as no threat to them, the group learned that the warriors were a search party from Hartham. After burying the dead and learning of Red and the group's encounter with the mind flayers and their horrible creations, the party mounted the warriors' horses and began the long journey to Hartham. So it's been a couple of days. You've been traveling with the Clan Ashta samurai, which you met back in that little disgusting ogre-infested part of the swamp. And after a long day of riding, you find yourselves sitting around the fire, getting ready to each of you to turn in for the evening. Most of the nights, you haven't really had to do hardly any watching for yourselves. The samurai are very, very thorough, and they tend to do all of the night watching and shifts for you all. And it is on one of these evenings, in this particular evening, Eli Stormbringer, you find yourself at a point where you feel as though you can slip off and have a private conversation with someone who has been a bit of a no-show for the past few days.
Yeah, man, he told me one day. Little freaking liar. I'll try to slip away into like a little like shadowy area. Close to the camp, but a little bit far enough away where no one can hear me.
Okay. So when you say, well, here's the thing, Derek. You kind of have to tell me exactly how far away you're going, because saying that you go away far enough that no one can hear you, that is all dependent upon in each individual within this traveling company's passive perception, or if they're paying attention. You also have samurai who are standing at attention at the just at the little outskirts of this little camp that you've set up each night.
Oh yeah, I gotta go pee. Sorry, buddy. So I'll be just right back, and I'll walk about 200 feet.
Okay. And are you doing so? You're just, hey, I'm going to the bathroom?
Yeah, to the samurai dude that's staring at me. I mean, you
Okay.
can watch if you want, but...
All right. Red, Zito, and Lithana, you all notice, if he's not being stealthy about it. You all notice Eli get up and slip off, which is unusual for him.
Not really, but
I mean, the fact that he's not being stealthy is kind of unusual for him.
Your wizard companion is walking off into the woods alone. What would you like to do?
I'll follow him.
Okay, Red's following. Music, you see the tall, reddish-furred, long-haired red Sharpclaw, the shifter barbarian, get up and begin striding away in the direction. As you look up, you just saw the edges of Eli's robes as he disappears into the thicket. Just outside of the fire. The glow of the fire.
I really don't understand how these flesh-bound types work, but in my experience, maybe he just needs some alone time, you know? Handle some business. I'm gonna leave him be.
Okay.
Lithana might follow a bit, but she'll stay back, so he can't see her. Just in
Oh.
case he needs help.
Careful, Latana. If he's doing what I think he's doing, you don't want to walk in on that.
I mean, it's a dark night. Just make sure he doesn't get eaten or something.
You never know. There's been a whole lot of things being eaten by things in this place since you've got here.
So she'll be kind of stealthy.
Okay, you may roll a stealth check if you would like to. And what about you, Zito?
Just like they said before, a lot of things were eaten today. A lot of things will be eaten in the future, and right now Zito is not one of them. So he'll stay where everyone else is.
Okay. Well, everyone else is sort of pejoratives. They're splitting up right now. Red's walked off. Lithana has slipped off out of the firelight. Eli's gone. Music is just kind of sitting there. And it looks like Auri and Ender are turning in early for the evening. So right now you just hear the din of all the samurai who are not on watch sitting around the fire telling stories.
Zito will... He'll sigh and get up from his nice cozy, still very wet log, and he'll follow Lathana.
Okay. Make a perception check, Zito. You unfortunately, as soon as Lathana passes through the brush, she's gone. And you can't see her. She slipped into the bushes, and all you saw was the bushes move a little bit and then come to a rest. It's like she melded into them.
I will cast Detect Thoughts and see if I can find Lathana that way.
Okay.
Detect thoughts.
And speaking of which, I need to go ahead and give you guys a long rest, don't I? It's been a couple of days.
Yeah.
I marked you guys as taking a long rest. There you go. And you cast Detect Thoughts. How long does that take? Is that instantaneous, or does that take a while?
Action.
Takes an action. Okay, so within 6 seconds, you're specifically searching for...
Well, I can detect all thoughts around me.
Okay. Immediately behind you, you're hearing thoughts of someone is thinking about their cat back in Hartham. Another person is thinking about their dog. Another person is thinking about somebody else's dog. And then immediately ahead of you, you can just barely detect the thoughts of Lathana Aisha. Whatever she has in her mind at the moment as she is slipping through the wood. And you have the direction in which she's heading.
What is Lathana thinking about?
She's thinking about camouflaging herself with a tree.
Right.
Yeah, she's basically invisible right now because Luthana, when she's in darkness, is completely invisible to anything with dark vision.
Zito's gonna head in that direction.
Okay.
And the spell lasts for about a minute, so I'm gonna keep following it until I lose track of her.
All right. So the only one back at the campfire is music.
I'm learning all kinds of samurai stories.
You're hearing all kinds of stuff. Hearing all kinds of rumors about something called harness racing and hunts for were creatures in the Deepwood.
Ooh.
Apparently, they pay top coin for the pelts of were creatures in Hartham.
Wow, that sounds like it'd be pretty good money. I wonder if we're any good at that.
You never know. You are heading in that direction.
I have to mention it to the team, see if they want to skin a few of these things if we run across any.
Right? Hopefully that doesn't offend your shifter friend.
Hopefully not.
Eli.
Yes.
So you get far enough away from camp that you feel like you're fairly confident you're alone. What would you like to do?
I will send a message to
Okay.
my friend.
Okay, then. What is the message?
Hey, it's Eli. Remember me, your buddy? We still have that wish to talk about.
You hear the sounds of the various flora and fauna all around you. The sounds of frogs, crickets, other bugs, creatures. And you receive a message back. And the message that you receive back says, I must apologize. I have been on an important errand for quite some time now, but for my patron. Unfortunately, I am indisposed at the moment, therefore I cannot come to you. However, I may be able to provide the means for you to come to me on the plain of Syrania, my home. And we can finish our business. I think that's less than 25. I don't know if anybody was counting.
Close. I mean, it could take a few messages back and forth.
Right, but I didn't want to cheat you and force you to use another spell slot. I just gave your spell slots back.
True. Yeah.
So that was your first message to him, and that was his response. Zephyr's response.
Well, I guess it's bad enough to go alone, so I will head back to the camp.
Okay. And as you're walking back to camp, Red, you've been stomping through the wood towards the direction in which you saw Eli wander off, correct?
Yeah.
And Luthana, you see Eli talking, speaking out loud, and then spinning back in the direction of the camp and begin heading in that direction.
She'll stealth back.
Okay. All right. You may make another stealth check if you like.
Do you see me? Eli?
Nope, he doesn't see you. With his
I'm
passive,
not paying attention.
plus with his passive of 10, he can't really see you.
It's really dark.
Even with his dark vision, yeah, especially with his dark vision, he wouldn't be able to see you. But eventually, Eli, you see a dark shape silhouetted by the glow of the campfire in the distance. You see one stomping towards you.
Who is that? Hello?
And Red, you hear Eli calling out to you just ahead.
It is Red, Magic Man. You do not need to worry.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. You too? That egg of whatever we ate really had me going.
This one only wanted to make sure you stayed safe. It is not safe in these woods.
And as you say that, Red, you hear a branch snap behind you.
I turn towards it real fast, like.
As you spin around real fast with your dark vision, you see a diminutive form walking straight towards you.
I'll pull my blade out, hold it at my side.
Okay. Zito, you see Red pull out her sword and point it at you before resting it at her side.
Knew it was gonna end up like this. And Zito's gonna run back into the brush.
The diminutive form begins to run away from you upon you pulling your weapon out.
I'm gonna turn to Eli. Do you see what I mean now, Magic Man?
Hila's already running back to the camp screaming like a little girl.
Eli runs past you, Red.
And I'll just start heading back leisurely behind them.
Back at the campfire, Music, you're sitting there and you're having a good old time listening to old war stories from these samurai, and suddenly there is an explosion of movement just on the outskirts of the camp, and you see the little kobold artificer just rush out and then spin around looking back behind him before he looks at you and then the rest of the samurai. The samurai are now quickly standing up, their hands on the hilts of their blades. And then Eli rushes out of the brush as well, screaming bloody murder.
I told you not to sneak up on him. Had it out, didn't he?
There's something in the woods. Music, there's something in there.
Like big something, small something?
I don't know. I just heard a branch break and I ran.
And as you say that, as he says that, Music, you see the large form of Red, Sharpclaw, hefting her weapon as she steps out from the dark into the outermost glow of the campfire.
What is it, Red?
This one saw something small. It was nothing. The
I'm gonna look
Magic
over.
Man overreacted.
I'm gonna look over at Zito and Eli and look back at Red and go, "Okay, well, don't worry, guys. Red saved you."
Boy, that was a sick burn. I saw something small. It was nothing.
I know. How does Zito feel?
Is she talking about Zito, or is Eli doing what I think he was doing?
I'd say it was Eli.
Oh my god.
Lithana, you're able to get to the very outskirts of your camp completely undetected, and you see this exchange going on now.
Did I see Zito? Did I see the whole interaction? That would have been funny.
I would
In the
say
forest.
I would say that you would have definitely seen that all going on. It would have been, looking at, shades of gray. So you might not have been able to make out too many details, but you could definitely see the outline of Eli. You could see the outline of Red. You've been around them long enough now. You could determine that it was more than likely that was Zito.
Lathana, I don't know what happened, but either Zito snuck up on Eli and saw his wand, or Eli saw Zito and got scared. One of the two.
Lithana just shrugs and says, I guess we'll never know. And then she just sits down like nothing happened.
Eli will walk over to the campfire and be like, hey, guys, come here.
Oh God! Now he wants us all to join in.
This
What you
one
got for
does
us,
not
Eli?
understand what you mean, Metal Man.
I'm not sure I understand either, but sometimes people of a flesh-like persuasion are confusing.
Almost as confusing as your dungeon master not explaining that music eventually showed back up during those last few days.
I figured.
I've been here.
He's been here the whole time. You guys didn't see him?
Whew. Man, that move silently was high.
Eli looks at everyone and says, "Guys, how would you like to go to a different plane?"
Yes, yes, and double yes.
Thought my music just came back from another plane.
Well, yeah, but there's so many of them. They're so much fun, and they're all different. Have you ever been to another plane, like intentionally? It's amazing.
Oh, we intentionally went to that plane where we met you, music.
And what'd you think?
I think it was terrifying.
Yeah, isn't it great?
This one does not like magic. It is untrustworthy.
Eli, I don't mind as long as it's not the dreaming dark.
It's not. You remember my friend, the one you met in the cave?
Ah, yes.
That flying cat.
I mean, the big, awesome, cool guy. The magic, genie.
Your BFF?
Yes. He has invited us to his plane.
You guys met a talking cat?
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh my gosh, I just got that. Sorry.
Yes, we did meet a talking cat.
Why was it talking? What did it say?
It was strange. One of the strangest things I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
But we can see cooler and stranger things on this plane if you guys want to come.
I'm down. I wasn't planning to sleep tonight anyways, so yeah.
Me either.
This one will go, only to keep you all out of trouble.
We do appreciate it.
Well, Zido,
Alright, I'll go. But only because everyone else is going. And I don't want to be the only one around when I hear Eli, or not Eli, Ender and Ari in the tent over there.
oh yes, I see. And Eli will cast sending and say, "Me and my friends are ready to come."
Okay, and you receive back almost immediately. Splendid. I will open a portal. And within like a few moments, there is a stir in the air. You have all noticed that the air has been getting increasingly cooler at night. Not uncomfortably so, but you are definitely within the autumn months now. As you are now, it is now the 2nd of Sephiros. And there is this strange noise as the darkness is in the camp, which is split, of course, by the warm glow of the campfire, is now joined with a very bright light that emits from a portal that begins to manifest not too far away from your camp, opening up and creating a doorway, light pouring forth from it. And as you're looking, you can see just beyond the portal, you can see what appears to be an infinite blue expanse of a sky and thick, wispy clouds dotting the landscape beyond, and somewhat obscuring the sky just above a floating island. And not too tiny, but a a small form of a blue-skinned individual is apparently this apparent blue-skinned individual is seated on a very plush chair, and this flat dais with this series of 4 pillars, and the pillars go straight up into the cloud cover, and you can see a few other medium-sized to small forms which are milling about in the distance, some of them reclined next to the chair that this blue-skinned individual is seated on. And as you look, you can see that this individual is beckoning for all of you to approach through the portal.
Eli will look at the portal and go, "This way, guys," and just start walking.
I do a cartwheel through it.
Do a cartwheel through it?
Yes.
Okay.
I will follow behind, looking at music, very confused.
And as each of you pass through this portal, you're greeted with air that is a bit warmer, not uncomfortably so, but there is a genuine breeze, this constant breeze, and you have to adjust your eyes a bit as you pass through the aperture, because it is forever bright in this place. And you can hear a booming voice as you step forth out of the portal. As the last one of you steps into this place, you can now hear this booming voice calling out to you, "My friends, this way!" And not too far off, you can see now, much more clearer now, this blue-skinned individual wearing a big poofy silk hat with gems studding it. He's wearing a long, flowing robe without sleeves. It almost looks as if someone took a vest and turned it into a robe, and he has a big sash over his very pronounced belly.
Go, and Eli will follow where he said.
Okay. And you're all passing through the doorway, I take it? I'm going with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Zito is gonna keep music between himself and Red for right now.
Okay. And as you pass into this area through the portal, your eyes adjusting to the light sources now, the portal behind you softly closes in this almost like a swirling motion, like water going down a drain, until the portal shrinks down into that something the size of a grapefruit and then pops out of existence. And then, Eli, you hear that familiar voice say, "I apologize for the unfortunate delay. I am afraid that it was quite unavoidable."
No worries. I can always understand. So, what is going on? Do you need our help or anything?
But please, you're here in my home. You should be making yourselves comfortable. Please, if any of my retainers can help you in any way, make you feel more comfortable while you're here, please don't hesitate to ask them. And he gestures now to this series of retainers. They're all scantily clad men and women of various races. Most of them appear to be elven and human, or at least appear to be so. You've never been to Syrania before, so you're not entirely... None of you are really certain about the inhabitants of this place, other than what Eli has told you about his djinn friend. And as the djinn said so, some of the retainers now are approaching each of you with silver platters with jugs of some sort of drink. And a few of them are carrying plates of food, mostly fruit.
I will take a cup and some fruit and start eating and drinking.
And what about the rest of you?
Red is probably kind of on her guard, not knowing really where she is, what she can trust. So she's probably kind of sticking close to everybody, but very wary.
Yeah, this is like a fish out of water experience for you. Once again, Red, this is the second time that this group has taken you to a different plane of existence without your knowledge, really.
Eli looks over at
Zito
Red.
will take the silver cup, but he won't drink anything out of it yet.
Okay.
Eli will look at Red and go, "Is this, when you were gone from that big crazy woman, is this the plane that you went or something like this?"
This one has never been here before. That
I
is
think-
why I do not like it.
This is a sight different from the endless night that you experienced when that ogre sorcerer banished you from the material plane.
It is a lot more comfortable, but it is equally unsettling.
And I thought I would grab a drink and some fruits. Are there chairs around?
There are not chairs, but there are pillows, very, very plush pillows, which are stretched out in different areas on this marble area.
She would find a plush pillow and say, this is the kind of life that insomniacs could get used to.
And what about you, Music? I know the food and drink probably don't interest you.
Not at all, but I'm still checking everything out. I'm just highly curious.
Okay. Just above you all, you're all hearing this tinkling noise. It sounds like wind chimes almost. It possibly coming from above you in the cloud cover, which appears to be the roof of this Parthenon. And go ahead.
So what brings you here, Eli?
Oh, my friend, he asked for a present.
Jen, what for what reason are we graced with your presence and household?
Well, your friend Eli and I have business to settle. Isn't that right, Eli?
Yes, we do.
Why don't we take care of your request while your companions continue to relax? And he
Combat related?
at this point he had stood up from his chair and he had walked sort of to the center of this place to greet you, and as he says that, he begins to drift back to his plush chair. And you can see that there is a white dove that was fluttering as it lifted off of the top of the back of his chair and now lands on his shoulder.
Eli will walk over to him.
And I'm sorry, Music, you asked a question?
Is their business combat related? Are they about to have a mage battle?
Well, goodness, I hope not. Eli here is quite formidable, are you not, my friend?
Yes, but you are way more powerful.
Yes, but what if instead of like a fight to the death, you did a fight with illusions? Like, who could make the prettiest illusion?
Well, that would be very interesting. Perhaps after we have conducted our business, Eli, we can take your friend's advice. Have a little test. Not of combat, of course. That would be silly.
That would be pretty fun.
Or the biggest fireball? If it's a test for illusions, though, I want to compete as well.
And as you say that, Music, you notice now that there is a big, fluffy white cat that is just sort of padding around the outskirts of this Parthenon. And you didn't even notice it before because it blended in with the cloud cover that spreads out from the edges of the marble floor. And it now hops up onto the marble and comes to a rest not too far away from you, and then sits down and looks up at you. And it does a little blim with its tongue, a little blip. And it has these
kitty.
gorgeous cerulean blue eyes.
Who's a pretty kitty? Come here.
And it starts purring. As it gets closer
Come
to
here.
you, it starts to rub up against one of your legs. And its tail sticks straight up, just the very tip of it twitching as it sort of weaves in a figure eight between your legs. You're not allergic to cats, are you, Music?
No.
Okay.
Guys, I met a friend.
Music, that is awesome.
Ithana takes a sip and just kind of motions to Eli. You guys go do your thing. We'll go pet the cat.
Hello, pretty kitty. What's your name?
And the cat just keeps purring, this big throaty purr. And as it nudges its head against you, it just sort of goes. "Meow, meow."
Oh, it's talking to me.
And Eli,
Did you guys know that cats don't meow to other cats? They only do that to people. It thinks I'm people.
So Eli, as you step foot before the throne now, this big plush wide chair that seems to be designed to fit the features of this djinn. He looks at you with a warm smile on his face. The dove is cooing, sitting on his shoulder, and he looks to you and he says, "Well, have you thought this through?"
Yes, I have.
Have you now? And you've come to a decision?
Yes, I came to a very good decision.
Splendid. Well, shall we get this started?
Yes.
Well, before we begin, there's a bit of a formality. I neglected to ask you to do this the last time we had this sort of transaction. And as he says that, he now pulls out a scroll from the side that was resting on the side of one of the armrests of the chair. And the scroll is contained in this golden capped stopper. And he pulls the stopper off and he begins pulling out this long scroll that has sort of like an electrum filigree on the edges of the paper. And he begins to unfurl it out and he says, "Ordinarily, when I conduct a service like this for a mortal, I am required to have you sign for it. This is a promissory note, if you will, between you and I for this transaction. I know this might seem a little strange to you, but this is how things are done here in Syrania, especially for something this important. Do you understand?"
Yes, do you mind if I look at it?
"Well, sure." And he takes the scroll and he hands it to you.
Yes, I started reading it.
The scroll is blank.
Oh!
The only thing on the scroll is at the very bottom you see what appears to be a very, very fine scripted, not quite straight, but swoopy line with a symbol on one end of it, on the very left side of it, as if to signify this is where you sign. And he produces... out of his hand, he produces a long feathered quill, which he now takes and he presents it to you. He starts to hold it out to you. And he says to you, "May I see your hand?"
I look at him and said, "What does the scroll say?"
Well, the scroll is special. It's different from scrolls I'm sure that you have encountered in your time, in your travels. This scroll is a scroll of ages. As your time after I complete this task for you goes on, this tells the story of your time after reality has been bent for you. Unfortunately, it should have been done before when I did it, but didn't have a chance to do so. Therefore, I will have to go in and edit it, if you will, and add in that entire section after I bent reality for you the first time.
Oh, okay. He takes the quill and he signs it.
I'm sorry, formality. I don't think you quite understand. You need something to dip your quill in.
Oh, so he like puts it against the scroll and it's like nothing happened. Oh.
Yeah, it's dry. But we can do something about that. May I see your hand?
Eli gives him his hand.
Okay. He takes the quill and he jams it in the middle of your hand. And
Holy crap!
you take a point of damage. And he says, "Oh, I am so very sorry. But this is a very important document to sign. It would be silly of us to only use something as simple as ink. This will work just fine." And he now holds out the quill to you. After it, you are holding your hand back, where the point of the quill pierced your skin. I'm so sorry about that. We'll have that taken care of by one of the retainers. One of our retainers is a very, very good with healing magic.
I appreciate that. And Eli will sign.
Okay. As you sign the document, he takes it, he looks at it, and this is very good, very good. Oh, excellent, excellent. And then he rolls it up, takes it, puts it back into the scroll case, puts the golden filigree capper on it, and as he closes the capper on it, this music that has been emanating from all around you, this tinkling of crystal, seems to get louder. The music starts to fade. And Zephyr now turns, looks, after capping the scroll, he turns and looks at you and he says, "Very good. Very, very good, Mr. Stormbringer. Thank you." And he just sort of rests back in his chair looking at you with a smile on his face. The dove is continuing to coo. Well, speak your words.
Oh, is this my moment? I wasn't sure what was going on.
Oh, this is most definitely your moment, Eli Stormbringer. Please, commence.
Well, can everyone else see Eli?
What's that?
Can everyone else see Eli or hear him?
Yeah, there's no walls. This place is small enough they can all see you from their various places in this seats and seated areas or wherever they're leaning. They all saw this exchange. They all saw the djinn stab you in the hand with a quill feather. And they all saw you sign a document you couldn't read.
Well, I thought we were going to do it a little more private.
Well, we're all friends here, aren't we? They are your friends. You invited them along for the ride, so to speak, to this place?
Yes, yes. Well, there's things that have been happening recently. Weird, strange things. And
strange?
Yes. I have this like Atlas slate thing, and apparently I pull it out and set some kind of mind controlling device. I just bought it on the street, and apparently there's some big evil bad guy that is trying to kill us all. In the swamp, all these like weird. Yeah, yes.
I mean, you do lead the life of an adventurer, do you not?
Yes, yeah, I guess. I mean, it was never the life I wanted, per se. But I guess I did. I guess I have gone along with it. I guess
your adventures have led you many places. It led you to the very place that you found my urn, did it not?
That is true. That is true. I've always dreamed, though, of being the captain, staying a captain. I never really thought about putting my life in danger, per se. I guess, but it seems like every day I'm in danger, always, and so many people now are after us. So,
well, to live the life of adventure is to dance with danger and death on a regular basis, my friend. I have lived a long time. Trust me on that.
And see, this is what it's all related to. Is it would be easier, per se, to help my friends if I was better at my job.
And I take it this is related to your request?
Yes. See, the study I studied before, it was more history related, but it hasn't really, I guess, I seem kind of useless on the field. Haven't really helped my friends much. So I wish to be able to see a few seconds in the future, per se, and that's in my years and years of study. I studied divination.
So you wish to have studied divination in your years of study instead of that which you did study. That is a hefty wish.
Yes. See, if I could see into the future, I could know how to protect my friends better.
Well, that is noble. Perhaps, in your service to your new patron, you will gain this power.
Oh, so who is that?
And as Zephora says that, there is a darkening of the clouds above you. First time that shadow has cast over this floating cloud island in the middle of this endless, infinite blue sky. Well, that would be your new lord and master, Calderis.
And who is that?
Well, that is the one who has hired me to track you down and take you back to her.
Her?
Yes. Don't you remember, Stormbringer? Don't you remember breaking into her vault, defiling her belongings, stealing her precious urns, and then ferreting away one of her immortals, the one that I wear the skin of as we speak? And the dove that's sitting on his shoulder is cooing, and as if it's making, like it's laughing, like a.
Oh, yeah. I don't believe that happened.
No? You're not the Eli Stormbringer? The half-elf that made a deal with an elemental djinn of the plane of Syrania, Zephyr? The one that you freed and sent upon its merry way? The one that I have been tracking for months and only recently acquired and tortured for hours and days until I found out all the information I needed to trick you into coming to this place? And as you're watching, the blue on this creature's skin is going darker. It's no longer the cerulean bright blue that it once before. It's now sort of like a purplish color. And now it turns a bit of a sort of an orangish mauve color. And the eyes are glowing sort of an orangish greenish tint as it stares at you. Well, if we are quite done with this ruse, shall we make our way back to Calderas? I'm sure she is quite giddy to complete my contract so that I may get paid and you may be delivered to your new master. And
well, actually, hold on.
As he says that, all of the retainers that are seated on the pillows, the air seems to shimmer and get a little brighter. And as they each start to light up like a Christmas light about to go out and pop, and their form melts away, no longer the beautiful, scantily clad vision. Now you see these small, diminutive, nearly kobold-sized, Zito-sized creatures with this dark Baroque skin, sort of crusty with like this glowing, almost magma, glowing in cracks all over their body, and they're giggling and cackling. The dove, which was sitting on the shoulder of Zephyr, is now, its form is twisting and turning into that of a bat-winged, reddish-horned small creature, which is cackling and as it sits on his shoulder. And as you look around now, the landscape, the infinite cerulean blue sky now is gone. It has been replaced now with a gray sky. The clouds are gone. You just see a desolate island floating off. And in the distance beyond, the landscape is this shining, difficult to look at, endless landscape of trees which seem to be made of metal, shining metal. And this individual now is standing, looking at you, holding the scroll in his hands. And you're all seeing this now too, this illusion which seems to melt away like wax melting down over the candle base. And you're now seeing that you're no longer in this beautiful place with this endless blue sky. Now it's gray skies with harsh white lighting. The cloud cover for the top of the Parthenon is still there, but now it's dark clouds, and there are little arcs of lightning and electricity that zip and zap out at different angles. And Eli, you said you wanted to do or say something?
Yes, did the wish go through?
I don't know. Did it go through?
I don't know.
Do you feel as though you can see the future?
No.
or do you feel as though you have been tricked?
I feel like I've been tricked.
A realization, a horrible feeling. I need each of you who were drinking or drinking the wine or eating the food to make Constitution saving throws.
Not me.
Ah!
This one does not trust magic.
Lathana and Eli were the only ones that drank?
I think so.
Because you don't have the cup, we didn't take any drinks.
Okay. Lathana and Eli, you were both poisoned. And you both like feel this horrible feeling of someone punching and then gripping your stomach right where your belly button is and like squeezing uncomfortably and twisting. And its twisting just doesn't want to stop. You both feel doubled over.
Where's my friend?
That poor fool. And this individual waves his hand, and you now see on the ground, not too far away from the front of this throne, you can see blood of various colors, which stain the floor. And laying there, you can see now a cut and bruised, blue-skinned individual. His hat is off of his head. He's balding on top a little bit with wispy hair, but it definitely resembles your friend from when you saw him last on the airship, where you weighed your first wish. He looks really rough. Don't worry about him. Where you're going, you won't have to worry. I didn't have a contract for your friends, but I'm sure that I can find someone on some plane of existence that is willing to pay top coin for an adventurer to play with. Now, if you all follow me, we will be taking a trip to Calderes. Come along now, Stormbringer. Gestures towards you, Eli, with a hand, as if to take your hand.
I want to cast a spell.
Okay, what would you like to cast?
Modify memory.
Modify memory, okay. What does this individual have to roll?
DC 16.
DC 16, and what is the save?
That's a wisdom.
Wisdom save, okay. He rolled a 23. And when you cast a spell, you do so in not a sleight of hand sort of way.
No, I'll go for it.
Okay. And he looks at you, and his eyes flash, and you can see now his form is melting. And he's no longer the blue-skinned individual. He's a very tan-skinned person. Very tall, very wide. And you can see that on the back, right where the shoulder blades are, he has tufts of raw, mangled skin, as if something used to be there and is no longer there. And he's wearing these magenta-colored waist, sort of a robe that starts at his navel and then goes down to his knees. This little waistcoat, if you will. And other than that, he is bare. He has dirty blonde hair. His eyes, which were orange then green, now bright silver, are peering down at you as the facade of he pretending to be Zephyr is gone. And he is looking at you, still holding out a hand, beckoning for your smaller hand into his larger, much larger one. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter at the whatever this is.
Okay. Well, I would say at this point, you guys are in initiative because Derek has cast a spell. So why don't we all roll initiative? All right. And why don't I give you guys a map? How about that?
Ooh.
And you guys can position yourselves on this map wherever you were located. And if you'd be so kind as to position yourselves before we begin.
Yeah, the map's still loading. Oh, there we go.
Is Eli right next to him?
Eli is right next to him. I believe Eli was was right in front of him, if I'm not mistaken. You were right there. Yeah.
Eli tried to move behind him.
Okay. Let's see. I think it's Zito's turn first.
Seeing his fleshy hand reach out for Eli, Zito is going to nonchalantly roll out his turret onto the floor and activate his Force Ballista,
Okay.
which would then try to shoot at the guy's hand.
Okay.
Let's see if this will work. I'm not sure if this is going to roll the attack or the dexterity save.
We'll find out. Looks like it failed. You hit and it failed.
Alright. Alright, so it's the ballista, so only the hit counts.
Okay.
The dexterity save is only for the fire part.
Gotcha. And for those of you who are curious, this is what this gentleman looks like.
Is his name Garlic?
It is garlic.
And I'll turn over here.
Okay. Suppose I
It
should.
looks like the map isn't locked either.
I locked it. So as you start to move that way, Zito, in response to you, as if holding its action unseen above, a massive being floats down from above right next to you, and it looks like this. And as it floats down next to you, it takes its fist. It was holding an action, and it tries to bash and batter you as it lands right next to you. And that's a 26 to hit.
That hits.
That hits? Okay.
I would like to use cutting words to use a bardic inspiration to cut that.
Go for it. You can use your reaction.
It's just a 1.
Oh no.
But
So-
it's a 25.
It's still 25. Zito, do you got something
It
that you can
still
help
hits.
you? It still hits? Okay.
It still hits.
All right. You take 15 bludgeoning fire damage as this thing's fist is super heated up, and when it bashes down into you, impacting you, nearly creating a crater in the surface of this cracked, blistered surface of the flooring. And you feel yourself crushed under the weight of this thing as it's now pulling its burning fist back to hit you again, potentially the next time.
Can you add my turret onto the map?
Yes, I can. Where would you like me to add your turret? I'll just drop him. I'll just
We'll say
drop
it's right
him. How
behind
about
the
that?
creature. All right.
You can move him wherever you like. There you go.
So it's right there.
All right. Eli, this little horrifying dude that was a beautiful looking man and is now a horrifyingly burnt and charred creature. When it opens its mouth, burning, glowing fire erupts as it's laughing and cackling and running towards you. And it now tries to attack you by reaching out with its hand and grabbing onto your leg. And a 17 hits. Would you like to respond?
No, I will not respond.
Okay. You take 9 fire damage and your cloak is on fire.
Oh, holy crap!
And let's see. Red, you hear a little giggling noise. And something touches you. It doesn't feel good. It's a bad touch on your leg. But it misses you as this ugly little man that bears a striking resemblance to the one that just set Eli's robes on fire tries to burn you. And let's see. Other one will rush forward towards you, laughing as it does. Eli now trying to set your other leg on fire and hitting. And you take 9 fire damage. You're still on fire, so it won't add another flamed effect. You're still on fire, though, unfortunately. And Lithana, it is your turn.
Okay, from where I'm at, do I see any way I can get to Eli? Can I, like, go between him and Zephyr?
Well, Zephyr seems to be just laying on the floor, so technically you could, like, stand over him.
Alright, I'm going to move to here.
Okay. Lithana, when you get almost to him to stand over him, you are suddenly rebuffed. It's like you ran straight into a brick wall, but there's nothing there. And you're now looking down confused as you're stopped right in front of Zephyr. And as you walk into it, this energy field crackles with energy as you step towards and into it. You're not injured, but it definitely kept you from going forward.
Okay, I'm going to take my potion of possibility
Okay.
and stick it in, like, my pocket and yell at Eli, Eli, take this when you can.
Okay.
And then I would stab Magmim number 1.
Go for it.
With my scimitar of speed, and so I will hit it
Hit him
3
3
times.
times. That's a hit.
Oh, he's dead.
You killed him. Yeah, he was not very strong. So when the creature dies, I need Eli and you, Lithana, to make dexterity saving throws. Okay. You both take 3 fire damage as this little guy, when you stab him in his face, he explodes.
Alright,
And leaves a little burn mark on the tile.
is there any way I can still reach Eli and stuff a potion in his mouth?
Well, unfortunately, administering a potion to someone else is an action. You've used your action to attack. However, you still have movement, and I believe you still have attack actions.
Then I will drop my scimitar and shoot Magnum number 5.
Okay. That is unfortunately a miss. I don't know why you're rolling at this. Oh, it's because you're poisoned. Oh, I forgot about that. I'm so sorry. As your preternatural ability to fire arrows at things around corners seems to be off, as you have a pounding headache, Lithana. Both you and Eli have pounding headaches.
Alright, I'll go right up to Eli and tell him to take the potion.
Okay. As you move next to him, you can you're feeling with your leg. It seems like whatever this invisible barrier is between you and Zephyr, it seems to be rounded, or at least it feels to you like it curves as you move towards Eli. On Garlic's turn. Let's see. He already used that. Oh, why not? He is going to step forward and extend out his hand, and when he does, a pole emerges, and on either end of the pole, 2 chains flop forward with these spiked balls, and he rushes forth out supernaturally fast next to you and Eli, and first strikes at you, Lithana. Uh, 28 hits, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You take 32 bludgeoning and radiant damage as he bashes you in the center of your chest, nearly breaking your bow, as you are blasted backwards slightly, nearly off of your feet from the blow. He then spins and looks at you, Eli, and says, I needed to take you. I didn't need to take you conscious. And he will try to hit you, Eli. 28 hits, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You take 18 bludgeoning and radiant damage as he rains with the other end of this pole, this other spiked ball with a chain on it. And as it impacts you, your robe's still burning. You feel the flames are guttering slightly from the impact of this weapon into your chest. And Red, you feel another tickle behind you, as if something else is trying to get at you. And it critically hits you as you feel this burning sensation of this creature grabbing onto your calf muscle, and you are on fire. Your fur is burning, and whatever clothing item was there where it touched you is now alight. And it is your turn, Red. These 2 little bastards are like staring at you. One of them is giggling and the other one is touching your leg and now pulling back its hand. Your skin is burnt and ash is coming off of its hand as it pulls its hand back.
First, I'd like to rage.
You'd like to rage? I thought so. Boom. You are raging.
And I'm going to take the attack of opportunities and head over here to Garlic.
Okay. Let's see. That one's 4 and 3. 4 will take its attack on you. And it hits, dealing 10 fire damage to you. And then 3 will take his attack on you. Also hitting, dealing 6 fire damage to you as you run away from them. And they giggle and laugh and cackle as you do. I'm just going to move you right there. There you go.
Hit Garlic And I'm gonna attack recklessly.
And I should mention, his name is Garlic, and he smells like garlic. It's a foul odor. It makes you retch as you get closer to him. It smells
you
of
do.
garlic and brimstone. That's a critical hit.
He probably has more than 100 hit points, I assume.
One could assume so, yes.
Okay, so I can't use my fancy thing. Darn it.
No, but it still rolls an extra hit die because of your thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just have for the 9 lives one. If I get a crit, they have to do a Constitution save or be slain instantly.
Ah, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a pretty badass sword. All right, that is 31 slashing magical damage to Garlic, who was grinning before you came up and walloped him.
Attack recklessly for my second hit.
That's another critical hit.
Yeah, only he had.
And that's another 25 slashing magical damage to the creature. And he now looks down at you like, oh hell no.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Eli, it is your turn.
Eli will look at his genie friend on the ground, and he will cast Life Transfer.
Okay. Interesting. And what would you like to do?
Eli takes 20 damage, and the genie gets 40 hit points back.
Okay, I will go ahead and adjust that manually. There we go. You're watching as Lithana, you see Eli is starting to wilt before you as he reaches out, and even beyond this barrier, you can see, looking at Eli, wounds are appearing on his face and are going away from the face of the blue-skinned individual who's on the ground. I'm pretty sure that goes through this barrier. I could be wrong.
Yes, I can see him. I don't have to touch him.
Yeah, I don't think that this barrier stops spells. Oh no, it says nothing can pass through physically.
Not physical.
It's true. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna allow it because it's not physically passing through.
Definitely metaphysical.
Yeah. Is that the end of your turn, Eli?
Yes, that is the end of my turn.
Okay. Before the cackler goes, in response to your magical spell, Eli, Red and Lithana, you hear is noise as something comes rushing up. You feel a rush of air next to the two of you as something suddenly whoosh. It impacts next to you, Lithana, seeming to go after you, Red. Let's see. That is a hit. Red, you take 11 bludgeoning damage, reduced down, halved from 22, as this behemoth of a creature, which was invisible and is now visible, suddenly appears after rushing towards the two of you. And it looks like this. It has these weird circular glass enclosed sections on its body, has this mechanical thing that is up on its shoulders, and it is glowing with energy. And it seems like the energy is coming off and away from where Eli was, almost as if it siphoned it from him. And then the calculator goes. Let's see. The cackler flies down and is going to try to bite you, Eli. And a 20 hits, correct?
Yes.
Unless you have something that you'd like to do to save yourself.
No.
Okay. You take 7 piercing damage as this thing starts biting your face. And it's laughing as it does. Let's see. Number 2 is going to rush up towards Zito. Zito, this little fire-faced creature, rushes up and critically hits you. Unless you'd like to do something to prevent that.
No, critical hits always hit no matter what.
Thought so. You take 13 critical fire damage, and you are on fire. And music, it is your turn. There is a crazy amount of bedlam going on right now in front of you.
I'm moving 5 feet forward,
Okay.
and I will be using. Hold on. I just want to double check something real fast. I'm going to cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Okay. How does that work?
Everybody that I target within a 30-foot range gets 3d8 plus 5 hit points.
Okay. And so you're getting all of your friends in front of you?
That is correct.
All right. I figured you didn't want to try to move that circle and lose it. Unless that's not your circle.
Not my circle. Anyway,
No,
I
it's my
just
circle.
Okay.
I just range checked everybody. That's why I moved forward 5 feet.
All right.
Would it target Zephyr as well?
Good question. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I didn't target him.
Yeah, he didn't target him.
But everybody got hit points, and for my bonus action, I would like to. I can still wait for a bonus action. Can I still cast a cantrip?
As long as the spell has a casting time of a bonus action, if it's a cantrip, you can cast a cantrip if it has a casting time of a bonus action. You just can't
Gotcha.
cast. You just can't cast more than one spell that takes an action.
Okay, I will hold off then.
Okay.
And I end my turn.
All right. Oh, well, I already used his reaction, so I won't have the monoclon come and pound you into the pavement. At least yet. Magman number 6 is going to rush up behind you, Red, and he is going to attempt to touch you in a bad way. But he misses. He got too excited. On the Havoc Monoclon's turn, he is going to target Red and take 2 slam attacks against you. 26 hits, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 20 reduced to 10 bludgeoning damage. It then attempts to hit you again with its other arm, slamming down, but just missing. You manage to sidestep slightly before it impacts you. And you all hear another throaty laughing. Oh, this is hilarious. Get them, my pretties. As Pop, this creature, which is leaning up against this pillar in the distance with his arms folded as he materializes there, and he now pulls out his a warhammer, which is burning on the edge of it, and he rushes towards you, Music.
Really?
And as he runs, he's yelling and screaming in your face as he attempts to hit you with his warhammer two-handed. And he hits you, unless you have something you'd like to try.
Yeah, I would like to use my Bardic Inspiration and...
Okay, that's 2 Bardic Inspirations. Does a 15 hit?
It does, but that was weird. I had a 1 up there, and I rolled it, and it said 3, and then it took the 1 that was already up there from earlier.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, 15 hits.
Okay. He overhand slams into your back as you turn just in time, not fast enough to block his attack with your weapon. And he bashes you, dealing 18 bludgeoning fire damage. And he looks at you, smiling. His hair is fire. It's literally fire, a blazing flame, which is being whipped back from his face like a mane, like a lion's mane. And Zito.
What does he look like? Is he humanoid?
He looks like this. He looks like a dwarf. He kind of looks like a dwarf whose face is on fire, and he has bronze skin.
Gotcha.
On the Flux Charger's turn, looks at you, Zito, and then attempts to slam you yet again. Its first arm arcing downwards. 17 hits, correct?
I'm going to cast Shield and make it a 23.
Okay.
22.
Just go ahead and throw shield on yourself. Just manages to put it up in time as its big burning fist arcs down and nearly hits you again, pounding you into the pavement. It then attempts to hit you again, this time with the second arm. A 26 hits, unfortunately, as you take 17 bludgeoning fire damage from the attack. This first one bounced off of your energy shield. Second one hit you in a quick succession. 1-2 punch combo. Miss. Bam! Your energy shield shatters for a moment before it begins trying to reform. And Red, it is your turn.
Okay, I will attack.
You are surrounded on all sides, and you're on fire.
I like it that way.
I think, I don't know if that automatically rolled. Did you lose damage? I can't remember if it did or not.
Oh, I don't have any idea.
I'm not even going to bother to check it. There's so much going on. No worries.
I'm going to swing recklessly at Garlic.
Go for it. Unfortunately, that is a miss.
But I'm going to try again.
That is also a miss.
And
The universe has to balance itself. You can't roll 2 20s in a roll and not
and then have another hit. I'm going to shift as my bonus action to get 12 hit points and let me slap at him bite at him.
Imagine if you rolled a critical. That would just suck. A critical. Oh no. It misses. I'm so sorry.
So that's it.
Okay. And Lithana, it is your turn.
Lithana would cast Hunter's Mark on Garlic.
On Garlic, okay, the smelly guy, gotcha.
Yeah, he's smelly to keep it around. And she would make for 3 attacks.
Okay.
With Scimitar, and with Red's help, she feels inspired despite being poisoned. So, yeah.
Go for it. That unfortunately is a miss. That first attack with the Scimitar of Speed misses. The second one hits though. As you deal 15 slashing magical damage to Garlic.
And I make my last stabby stab.
Okay. And that's also a hit. That's another 9 slashing magical damage.
And she wants to hide, but she can't, so end of turn.
Okay. Let's see. On Garlic's turn. Garlic is not happy with you. So he's going to... just going to shift him back a little bit so he's in place. There we go. He's going to take opportunity attacks from Red, Luthana, and Eli. That's a hit. That's a critical hit from Luthana. It's 23 damage. And then Eli, I believe you get an opportunity attack if you would like to use your reaction.
I don't think I have a opportunity attack. Like, can I cast a spell as one?
No.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't think you can make an opportunity attack with a ranged weapon. It has to be a melee attack.
Can I punch him?
Sure, go ahead and punch him. Strength, D20 plus your strength modifier. You miss, I'm sorry. So he steps back. And he raises a hand up in the air above you, Luthana, Red. Let's see. Oh, I could do everyone. Okay. He does it to everyone, actually. Whoops.
Is he casting a spell?
Oh. Not a spell. It's an ability. He is going to use his Radiant Strike on you. I need each of you... Oh gosh, I guess I just have him target everyone. He just sort of says, I'm sorry to all of these people and you guys. I think he's already targeting you, Eli. Did I get you, Red? Yes, I did. Alright, so that's a failure on Luthana. Music, you succeed. Magman fails. Zito fails. Cackler fails.
My turret fails.
Your turret fails. Eli, you succeed. The Flux Charger succeeds. The Monoclon succeeds. Red succeeds. One of the Magmans. Heinous Gem fails. Sorry, Heinous Gem. And yeah. Swarming lights begin to coalesce in a 40-foot high cylinder of bright light that pierces through the cloud cover above you all. Oh gosh, I just realized this happens on y'all's turn, not on its turn. So if you guys, since I've never used this ability before, if you guys would like to take your saves again, I will allow it just in case you get a better result. But yeah, burning light is now starting to fill the chamber, like a warning to you all. I feel like that should be a spell. I really do. So if you would like to try and cancel this, you can, Eli. If you'd like to counter it. It doesn't have like a spell level. It's why I said that it's not really a, you know. Let's see.
What's its highest spell level that it can cast? Or
that's the
can
thing.
it cast spells?
This is an ability. It's not a spell.
Like, is Garlic a spellcaster though?
Everything. Let's see. I believe its DC is 17.
I was
Let's just have a Arcana check of 17 then.
Yeah. So if you want,
that would be my.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. He's an innate spellcaster. He doesn't have like spell levels. He just does things.
What spell level is the spell actually?
That's the thing. It's not a spell. It's an ability.
It's not a spell.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I don't think you can counter it because it's
I can't
not a spell.
counter it. I would have to dispel it
on
my turn.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what. Since I've never used the ability before. I'll have you, if you would like, on for each of your subsequent turns. If you guys want to roll your saves again, you can. So Zito, it's getting hot. It's getting really hot. So if you're in your if you end your turn where you are now within this purple bubble, you're gonna get burned. Unfortunately, I need to.
I think I'm getting burned anyways.
Let me just recreate this. It's actually that big.
But, Zito is going to cast Pyrotechnics on himself.
Okay. Pyrotechnics?
Yes, I'm going to make a cloud that is a 20-foot radius centered on me.
Okay. There's going to be so many like circles on this map, you guys.
Is there a way to change the color?
Yeah, change the color of your dice.
Alright, I'll do that real quick. But
Sure.
The area in that where I cast is going to become heavily obscured.
Heavily obscured? Okay. And you're casting on yourself?
Yes, to put out the flame on me.
Okay. There you go. Just gonna move this over there. There you go.
Then I'm going to run over to this column over here.
Okay. And that's the end of your turn?
As a
Now, does the
that's my turn.
does the obscured area go with you, or does it stay?
It stays there.
Okay. So now everybody's blind.
Well, Donna gets to hide.
All right. You don't have to make a save. The cackler just sort of flies out a little bit out from the cloud, sees you, and it's going to fly the rest of its turn over towards you. And it's going to attempt to whack you with its spiked chain. Suddenly produces a chain which was around its waist and attempts to whack you with it. And a 21 misses because I believe you're that's still going, correct?
Let me double check that. I'm not too sure if that should be on or not.
Well, you put it on this round, so it should still be on, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was the last round. Yeah.
All right.
Doesn't
So
hit.
he just sort of screams in your face, very, very angry. This other magman,
Didn't he end his turn in the thing?
he did, so he needs to make a save. Let's see. Constitution saving throw. And he fails. And he explodes. Zito, make a dexterity save. You watch as the wait, that's the wrong creature. Whoops.
Does he still explode?
He explodes.
Can we just say he implodes?
And you take half as much damage from his attack, which is we'll round down. Why not? You take 2 fire damage from him as he explodes in front of your face. This little magman is going to... Well, he's completely blind, unfortunately. So he will see, first of all, if he can actually see anything. He's just going to wander aimlessly in this direction. Just sort of hacking and caffing, turns around looking to see that he's out of the cloud now and he can't do anything else on his turn except use the rest of his movement to move. He looks and sees the heat above him and he goes, ah! And he uses the rest of his movement to run away. And these two...
I'm sorry, I forgot to roll for my turret that's still inside the zone.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. Yeah, it explodes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't see it, but you see a tiny little explosion poof out from the cloud cover of this little fog cloud that you've created. And these other magmen are going to rush as far out as they can. And just sort of start hopping up and down, laughing as they do. Number 6, he is feeling confident. He's going to try to whack you again with his fiery touch red. And he manages to get you. You take 9 damage absorbed by your shifter ability. He will then make a Constitution saving throw, which he fails miserably, and he explodes. I need you to make a dex save. Okay, so you take another fire damage from him to the tune of 6 reduced to 3 as he suddenly explodes in a fiery ball of fire. And he's gone. On Heinous Jim's turn, he is going to continue to whack you. And he does so singing as he does so music. And he hits you for a 22, unless you'd like to try to interrupt that.
Does he have disadvantage on that, being in that cloud?
Oh, that's right. Let me roll again, since yes, he does have disadvantage. He's going to try to hit you.
Can he see?
He misses you. And then he yells out some sort of fire dwarf curse word. The monoclone is just going to step
Doesn't he have to save?
That's right. Thank you for reminding me, Derek.
You're welcome. I'll remind all the bad guys to go, and then it's my turn.
Let's see. He actually manages to save. So he will take half damage to the tune of 16 radiant damage. As he is burnt by these brilliant light that comes through the cover, burning Heinous like he's standing under a giant heat lamp. The Havoc is going to take an opportunity attack from you, Lathana, as he shifts slightly. If you'd like to attack him, using... That's That's right. You can't see him. I'm so sorry. Make a perception check. Let's see if you can see him moving away from you.
Okay.
I would say with your passive, you can detect that he's there. I mean, he's heavily obscured, so would it be a disadvantage? But go ahead and try if you want.
So, disadvantage.
Yes.
She's poison
Disadvantage.
damage.
Minus disadvantage.
Disadvantage minus disadvantage. So yeah, just roll a straight attack. There's no such thing as double disadvantage. Maybe in some DM's games. I don't know why it rolled twice. You only get one attack.
Didn't
Double
mean for
disadvantage.
that to happen.
Let's see.
That was double disadvantage.
Double disadvantage. Well, he still hit. Has an AC of 14. Okay.
Why did it? It just did.
Yeah, that
Oh,
shouldn't.
and I'm attacking garlic.
That's why.
Sorry.
Let me take that 13 damage off of garlic because that shouldn't have gone on him.
Sorry, I was so confused for a second.
That's okay. I gotta find him on the combat tracker. No worries. Let's see. Okay. And the monoclon will move. It will take its 2 attacks on you, Red. First one missing. Second one hits. And you take 28 damage, reduced down to 14. And it will finish its move away from danger, looking up as he does. Stepping out of danger. Yes, it will take an opportunity attack from Red. That's a hit. That's 20 magical slashing damage to the creature. And that's the end of its turn. Eli, it's your turn. You are currently, and you can't see anything, unfortunately. You can feel something behind you, and it's like feels like a solid object, and it's curved, and then you feel something slightly brushing you over to your left.
I'll walk in the direction.
Okay.
I'll try to walk that way.
You bounce off of the chair slightly, nearly tripping. You take a few steps forward. You can feel that oppressive heat coming from above you.
As I finally can see, I'll look up and I'll cast a spell magic.
Go for it. And there's no save, right, that I have to roll and respond? It just goes away? Or do I have to roll something?
It depends on what, but if you have no spell level, it just goes away.
Yeah, the spell doesn't have it's not really a spell. It doesn't really have a level.
It says choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of third level or lower, then the target. Yeah, anything higher, 4th level, you roll a check.
Okay, so roll a check. So it would be a DC 17 check. Which you should, with your crazy modifiers, you're still rolling at disadvantage. You still manage to dispel this radiant heat ability, and it fizzles out. You were starting to sweat, Eli, and the sweat was pouring and stinging your eyes as you looked up and cast this Dispel Magic on this magical effect.
And I would move over there and end my turn.
Okay. Music, it is your turn. You are in a cloud of funk that you saw your little kobold friend create. And something's next to you swinging wildly with something. More than likely that hammer that it hit you with earlier.
What?
It did hit you, didn't it? I'm not sure if it did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it hit me once. And now I'm gonna hex him.
You're gonna hex him? Okay. Now how does that work? Is that something that you have to see in order to do that spell, or?
Well, you said there's something next to me.
There's something next to you, but how does the hex spell work? Is it something that you have to see?
You place a curse on a creature that you can see within range.
Correct. You can't see it. He's heavily obscured. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna say because his face is on fire, you can totally see him. You
Okay,
see, you can see the burning face, which is dissipating the cloud cover just around his head. You just see his head framed in the face.
That's enough to get cursed.
Go for it. All right, he's hexed.
All right, and then I would like to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
By the way, my hex is targeting his wisdom. He'll take a disadvantage on this save.
Okay. He fails. He rolled a 5. That's 12 necrotic damage and psychic damage to the creature.
Okay. And then I am going to move right down there.
Okay. As you rush out from the cover of this cloud that was created by Zito, whipping around, not really seeing much in the way of threats. And this other Magman, he's got a really low passive perception. So he is just going to run backwards and then stupidly fall over prone onto the seat and just starts to pull himself back up with the rest of his movement. On S's turn, Essa will... How tall is your cloud cover there, Zito?
It doesn't have any height, it's just 20-foot radius.
Weird. Okay. Essa flies straight up and then over. And looking around the field, it sees Eli, it sees Zito. And let's see. It's going to cast... You watch as its fist now opens up into a hand, and tendrils of electricity are traveling up and down the fingers as it points towards you with this hand, and this arc of lightning zaps out towards you. That should be gone, shouldn't it? Your thing.
No, it's still the same round.
And this is a new round. This is the start of a brand new round.
Let me double check the spell.
Okay.
But if not, I'll cast it again. No problem.
Sure.
I'll just do that.
Okay. So it misses with its ability. Oh, it's going to try again. It can do it twice. Look at that. And it will... Looking and seeing another juicy target next to you, the Flux Charger will point and aim at you, Eli. And it rolls a natural 1.
Oh, okay, good.
I saw you drop that on yourself at the last minute.
Okay, good. Natural one. Okay. I don't have to use it.
A little Magman is going to rush. Now that it sees you, it comes up like a little baby trying to get out of a tall chair and stumbles over towards you, Eli, and it's going to attempt to touch you once again in the bad place with the fiery effect. And it manages to hit with a 21.
Yep, it hits.
And you take 7 fire damage from the creature. Red, it is your turn.
I'd like to go towards Garlic and Havoc.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing recklessly with my sword at Garlic first.
Okay, that's a hit. As you deal 17 slashing magical damage to Garlic.
I'm going to do it again.
Gonna do it again. That's also a hit. And you lop his head off.
And then I'm going to go with a bite at Havoc's middle arm.
Gotcha. That's a hit.
Haha. And that's it for my turn.
That's 13 damage to the Havoc. And Lathana, it's your turn. You are in a cloud. This We're not entirely certain exactly what the radius or height of the cloud is, but your vision is still slightly obscured. You can feel that curving barrier that was sealing you from Zephyr earlier, still against your leg. And you're not really sensing anything around you at the moment, but you did hear the sound just not too far away from you of a body hitting the ground after Red called out a war cry.
Lefana will step towards the sound.
Okay.
And then see that there's sunlight, and she's like, oh my gosh, kind of blinks her eyes. And she will, there we go. She will use her bonus action to move her hunter's mark to Havoc.
Okay.
And she will shoot it.
Don't forget to put it on yourself. There you go. Lethana in quick succession, firing and hitting first with her bow. Oh, she's using her vicious longbow. I see you switched it up.
Oh, well, I had to do the other one. Oh well.
That's
sure.
Okay.
You want me to keep it to that one, or do you want to do the other one?
You can just roll the damage from the other bow since you hit. A 20 with the other bow would have hit anyway. Okay. That's 10 piercing magical damage. And your second attack also hits. How's it you got advantage and disadvantage on your attack?
Because I'm still poisoned. And I have advantage from Red, so it's just straight.
It's so weird. It's just like advantage, disadvantage, advantage, disadvantage. I just imagine a Red is like pointing, just like, it's right there. Hit it.
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Let's see. This Magman is going to rush across the field towards you, laughing as it does, and is going to attempt to set your leg on fire, Lethana. Once again, another one of these nasty little things, but he misses because he's terrible. And we'll just adjust him a little bit. And the other one will do the same thing, rushing up next to you. And will attempt to touch you with his fiery hand, but he manages to hit. And you take 10 fire damage as he burns you. You have all these holes now. It's like you're wearing ripped jeans. And Music, it's your turn. This big floating electric angel is hurling lightning at your companions. That is a failure.
It's a frog.
It's a frog? Okay, I don't have a frog like token, so I'm just gonna make him small, I guess.
Yeah, he's like a little, like the kind you see in your backyard.
Okay. He's a frog. And he lands on the ground because he doesn't have his ability to fly anymore. And he will take 9 bludgeoning damage from your attack. Or from the attack, from falling.
Cool.
And he poofs and becomes himself again.
Prone on the ground, right?
Well, hold on. How many hit points does a frog have?
1 hit point.
And he died when he turned back into his regular self.
No, he did not.
He took 9 damage as a frog.
True.
Yeah.
Then he becomes himself prone on the ground.
And 8 hit points transfer over to his regular self.
Yeah, so he's down 8
That's
hit
how
points right now.
polymorph works.
That's gay.
Yeah, you gotta
Sorry.
be careful of doing any damage to them when they're like. If you hit him with polymorph now, you're good. But if he falls or anything, yeah, it sucks.
And I apologize. I just read this. He's actually immune to prone. So when he lands on the ground and pops back into his form, he's now turning around, looking your direction, upright, wings outstretched.
Okay.
And that's the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This little magman says, I'm gonna get you. These little guys are just hilarious, you guys. But he misses. And Zito, it's your turn. Yeah. Zito,
Right.
you still have it on yourself twice, so let me take the other one off. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Zito is going to cast Shatter on this floating electric man.
Floating electric man? Okay.
This Essa.
Essa. She identifies as a female, but that's okay. Okay, so Essa needs to make a save. She succeeds.
So she'll take half damage.
Okay. All right. She takes 4 thunder damage. She not only did she take half, she also partially resisted the thunder damage. Apparently this thing seems to be resistant to your attack.
Alright, and I will go back into the fog and end my turn there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty then. On Heinous Jim's turn, he's just going to cough, hacking and coughing out of the fog, turns around, looks, sees you, Music, and he will rush up towards you with his hammer once again, ready to whack you with it, and manages to hit you overhand strike. If you have something that you'd like to stop him with, you can go ahead and do so.
Nah.
All right. He wallops you in the head, dealing 12 bludgeoning fire damage to you. And then he says, "You're going down."
Am I?
On the Monoclon's turn, it is going to shift around slightly. And it is going to take its 2 attacks against you, Red. Its first one hitting, you take 11 damage, reduced down from 22. And then whacks you again, or at least tries to, but it misses on its second attack. And it is your turn, Eli.
Eli is going to take an opportunity attack, and he's going to run back in the fog.
Okay. How long does that fog last for, by the way?
A minute.
It lasts for a minute. Okay. Unless you do another concentration spell, correct?
Is it concentration? Let me double check.
It probably is. That's a miss. Not always. Area effects are not always. Eli, you rebound off of and nearly lose your balance as you bounce off of the invisible barrier.
Good. I'm going to touch the barrier and cast Dispel Magic.
Okay.
So pyrotechnics is not
At level
concentration.
4.
Okay, you still have to roll a check.
What's the level?
It's a level 5 spell, so you have to roll a check.
So
you
it's
cast it.
so
You did it at level 4.
11. Yeah, so I have to roll higher than 11.
And that is a 15. The barrier, as you touch it, it was rebuffing you before. Your hand suddenly goes through it, and you touch the shoulder of the now sitting up on his hindquarters, Zephyr.
Said, well, saving your life again. And I'll let my turn there.
Okay. Let's see. In response to your spell, Dispel Magic is still a spell, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's just, yeah.
Red, you hear this strange discordant sound as you turn and look after the Havoc Monoclone whacked you once and then missed, and it suddenly spins around. Its entire upper torso spins around like it's on an axis, making this horrible crunching noise as it whacks at you again using its special ability called Spell Vitalization. And it hits you, dealing 11 bludgeoning damage, reduced down from 23. And Zito, it is your turn.
And it says I just took damage. Is that because I'm still on fire?
You are still on fire.
My pyrotechnics would have extinguished that fire.
Okay. So we'll take the fire off of you. And do you still have shield active, or does that go away?
I'll say that goes away.
Okay.
It's a new round. You're
Yeah.
top of the order, so it's a, yeah.
All right.
Mine
It's your
does
turn.
too as well.
There's a big
Right,
chair in your way.
Yeah, Zito's
So
gonna
you-
climb on top of it.
Okay.
He's probably gonna do something stupid. He's gonna try and jump on this guy's back. He's gonna try and get to that giant water heater that is attached to him.
Okay. It takes
Or after all.
about 20 of your movement to get there. You're now teetering on the edge of the back of this chair. What are you trying to do?
I want to jump on the back of this giant guy.
Okay, so what's your strength?
It is 6.
Strength is 6. So unfortunately, you don't feel you feel like you need to tiptoe across the back of this chair to the other edge to get to him. You're not entirely certain if you could make that jump, but you can try. Because your strength is 6.
Yep. My strength is 6. You know what? I'll just fly there. I'll use
Just
my wings of flying.
Okay. Bonus action to activate your wings of flying and fly over there. Go for it.
Yeah.
All right.
And is there anything I can do to try and rip this thing off of him?
Unfortunately, no. There's no way to target something on him.
I tried.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I guess I'll do shock and grasp anyways.
Go for it.
But this is metal armor, right?
He is metal.
Good. Alright, I get advantage.
That's a hit. It's a good thing you hit, too, because he was about to pound you in the face. You took away his reaction.
My turn there.
Okay. The Magman will continue trying to burn Red's pants off, because he's an evil little punk. And Eli, it's your turn.
Man, I guess I'll move out the cloud.
Okay.
And it's like if I want to cast a spell, you know what?
What are you trying to do?
I'll cast a spell.
Were you worried about that thing pounding somebody?
Yes,
Well,
but I guess I was like, I don't think Eli knows.
Well,
so.
he can't use a reaction because of Zito's shocking grasp.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I don't think Eli would know either. He hasn't
Sure.
seen it yet, so I'll that's what I was debating. Like, oh yeah, so
No
I'll
worries.
cast Blight on him.
Okay. And I think your shield is also gone. He succeeds.
Yes, it is.
So he takes half of your damage. You take 26 damage from your attack.
Man, he's so lucky.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, I'll end my turn right there.
Okay. On Zephyr's turn, he is going to stumble out of this cloud cover, going down to one knee, breathing heavily, looking around, and a scimitar manifests in his hand. And then he will use the rest of his movement to go over here. Oh, thank you, Lithana. And he has no idea that these guys explode when they're hit, so he is going to instead... he's going to create a whirlwind on this little guy. And let's see if he fails. He fails. So this column of a tornado suddenly comes down from above and whips this little magman up and has his arms now up to his sides, and he is struggling, completely restrained. His movement is 0. And he, let's see. Oh, guess he can't do that yet. Oh well. We'll see if he's still caught up in that whirlwind the next time. On the Flux Charger's turn, it is going to attempt to get you. Since it doesn't see anything it can attack except for music, it will focus its attacks on you, music. Okay. Trying to zap you with its arc lightning. You hear the fizzling pop. Would you like to try to interrupt that?
Yep,
okay.
Take 2 off of it. And
15.
It still hits me.
It still hits. Okay. Let's see. You take 12 lightning damage from that.
Yeah.
And... Oh, I forgot. It can also attack somebody who's nearby, but there's no allies within range. I was using that ability all wrong. Oh, he's going to try it again. And he fails on his second attack. And he will use his movement to move up 10 feet, and then he flies 50 feet over here. And Red, it's your turn. She.
I will swing at Havoc.
Okay.
Again, recklessly.
That's a hit. And you manage to stab your great sword 9 lives stealer into the aperture which you thought was its face or eye, and it goes straight through, and the creature goes and then slides off your blade dead in front of you. Red just killed like 2 of these things by her, well, not by herself, but she did a pretty good job, guys. This is why you need barbarians on your team.
And I'll attack recklessly for my second hit at magnum number 2.
Okay, that's a hit. And you turn him into salsa.
And then I'll bite magnum number 4.
Okay. Oh, shit. Sorry. I roll a dexterity save. I forgot he explodes when you kill him.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops.
With advantage?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I do have it.
Yeah, you have advantage. Yeah, so you'll take half damage. So you will take, we'll round it down and say you took 3 fire damage. I'll adjust that manually. There we go. And he is gone. He burst like a little like an evil pinata.
Ew. And then yeah, I'll bite this one.
Okay, that's a hit. And you bit the magman. Didn't taste very good, and it started to burn your mouth a little bit.
I like hot things.
It's like biting into a hot pepper. A really hot pepper. On a heinous Jim's turn, he's going to continue to beat on you music, saying, "Why won't you?" And he misses, and his hammer hits into the ground hilariously. And Lithana, it's your turn.
Does Lithana see Essa?
Essa is flying up in the air. You see Essa. As it looks like it's getting ready to put its hand out, not to punch anything, like it might be getting ready to throw something down at you or your companions.
I would move my hunter's mark over.
Okay.
And try to aim right for its neck and sharpshoot it.
Go for it. These fiery little punks that are around you aren't enough to cause you to fail at your hit. A -5 and a disadvantage, you still rolled and hit and deal 25 piercing magical damage to this construct creature that resembles an angel.
And I would take one more shot at the angel.
Okay. That's a critical hit. There have been so many critical hits tonight, guys.
Holy crap!
That's 20 piercing magical critical damage to the creature.
That is such a bad roll, but okay.
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
That's it.
All right. Magman number 3 is restrained and he is being spun around in the air. Music, it is your turn.
All right. I have a question.
Yes.
If I cast Tasha's Hideous Uncontrollable Laughter on a creature that can't be knocked prone, does it just cease to act?
What does Tasha's Hideous Laughter do? What does it say it does?
Well, it knocks them prone, but it also stops them from attacking or taking an action for the duration of the spell.
Yeah, it just means that it's not prone.
But it will still stop everything it's doing, correct?
If I'm to understand the wording, the prone isn't what makes it stop doing things, it's the laughter, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, ordinarily I would say something that has an immunity to prone is not immune to Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay,
But
give me 1 second.
I'm sure there's an army of neckbeards online that would tell me that it won't work on it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. It won't work because it can't fall prone. Because
but it would still stop.
Falling prone does not make it incapacitated, so it does not work on it.
Would it still stop attacking and everything to laugh?
No, because it can't even like disable it. Like the prone is what makes it incapacitated.
Huh. Hanish Jim's not my pet.
Okay. He looks at you stupidly for a moment and then hefts his hammer up like he's looking around for trouble.
All right. Go get him, Jim.
He looks at you and says, "Yes, boss." And finally, at the end of the round, Magman number 4 tries to hit Lithana and misses. And Magman number 5's turn. He is going to run around looking for a target. Runs towards Red Sharpclaw. And he is going to attempt to burn her britches. That's the theme of the night, is burning people's britches. And manages to get you. And gets you for 8 fire damage. And music, it's your turn again. I believe you have to maintain concentration, so you can't cast any spells, correct? Or does it say you have to use your action to have the creature do something?
I don't know. Let's look and see.
I think that's how Crown of Madness works. Like, you have to maintain your concentration. Not just your concentration, but use your action to make it do stuff. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I use my action to maintain control over it.
Okay. But you still got your movement.
Yeah, and I've still got him hexed also, so he's still got disadvantage on those saves.
It's true.
I'll move over to there.
Okay. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Red, it is your turn.
All right. I will swing recklessly.
Recklessly.
Punk.
That's a hit. He is insta-dead. As you slice him in half, make another dexterity save. Okay, you'll take half damage.
Would I
So
do that
you
as
take-
well?
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh, wait, no, you're not within 5 feet, are you?
Oh, number 5? Oh, maybe not.
Oh, no, 10 feet. You are within 10 feet. So, yeah, you would have... The guy that just disappeared from the screen.
Fine. All right.
All
And
right,
then for my
so... Let me adjust that. There we go. All right. Did you already make a save, Lathana? You did? You failed. I'm so sorry. But you only take 2 points of fire damage. So, silver linings, right? Okay.
All right. And for my second attack, I'll attack recklessly at magnum number 4.
That's critical
Nat
hit.
20! Eat it.
And you just scatter him. He scatters.
Another death save. Let's go.
Another death. That's another deck save from both of you. Okay. So you both take 5 fire damage. Lathana, there we go.
And then I'm going to bite him.
Bite him. Do it. I want to see you explode him so you get burned 3 times. That would be so stupid if it just like, oh no, he's still alive. But that would be so dumb if like you got like knocked into death saves from like biting something.
And that's it for my turn.
All right, it's like biting a water balloon filled with lava. What will Heinous Jim do on his turn?
Oh, he's going to find something to attack. So he's going to rush forward past me and see Mr. Flux Charger over there.
Okay, Flux Charger is 30 feet up or 10 feet up in the air, so out of range.
Oh, yeah. He's just going to run over there and see him.
Okay. You want him to run his full movement below him, or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He charges past you. Oh, I'm going to get you, Essa. And Zito, it is your turn. Still see that lightning angel floating up in the air, hovering about 10 feet up off of the ground.
I don't think that'll reach him, but it'll still help Eli. I'm gonna cast pyrotechnics on Eli to take that fire off of him.
Okay, so we'll eliminate this one.
It's not concentration, so that smoke field will still stay. But
Okay.
I'm gonna do fireworks this time, so everyone in that radius will have to make a Constitution saving throw or be blinded for the round.
Okay. All right. Magman Zephyr fails, so Zephyr is blinded. Essa, I don't think that's what you intended to do.
Everyone in the radius has to make it.
Yep, everyone.
Is he in there?
Everyone in the radius. Essa made it. Zephyr failed, and the Magman made it. And I think you have to do it on Eli too, don't you? Or because,
yeah, I was gonna do that.
Yeah, I was gonna, or because he is like the target of it, he still has to make the save too, right?
Yeah, I forgot to target him.
No worries. And he fails. So you managed to blind your allies. I will throw the blinded effect on them. But at least he's out. He's no longer on fire.
Yeah, there's that.
I will throw blinded on Eli and Zephyr. And Eli is no longer on fire. I'm on fire, Ricky Bobby. I'm on fire. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, it's been on my turn.
Okay. On Essa's turn, Essa is going to... Essa's going to fly over in this direction. 30 feet up and arcing this way, and is going to target red. And miss. And we'll try to get her again. And this time we'll hit. Red, you take 14 damage and you fall unconscious. Making death saves. And why not? I need a dexterity save from you, Lithana. Okay, 23. Okay, so that's 6 lightning damage as the arc that hits red bounces off and hits you. I wasn't using that ability right last time. It actually can hit 2 people.
Oi.
Yeah. So Magman number 3 is okay, right? He's not blinded or anything?
If he made his save, then no, he's not.
Okay. He's going to hit red while she's down, because he's a jerk. Sorry, red. I believe that's an auto crit, right?
Yep.
Alright, so that's 1 death save off of you.
It's 2.
It's 2. Is it?
Yeah, critical hits are 2 fails.
Oh, shit. Somebody needs to help red. And that's its turn. Lithana, it's your turn. You just watch this little punk slam its fist down and punch red in the shin. If she was awake, I bet that would hurt really bad.
Can Lithana will take her scimitar of speed and move her hunter's mark to Magnum 3.
Okay.
Hey, no one messes with my friend.
Now, I know this. I don't know if Lithana knows this. I don't know if Sabrina knows this. But if you kill Magman 3 and he hits red while she's down on her last death save, it will kill her.
Shoot.
I'm just warning you. I'm pretty sure that's right? If she takes damage.
Yeah, she automatically fails.
So it's up to you. You also have a juicy target flying up that just dropped your friend and zapped you. You could turn your attention to.
Lithana will instead lean to red and try to stabilize her.
Okay.
Does
All
that
right.
work?
Make a medicine check. Or you can use your action to pour a health potion down her throat.
I have no health potions.
What? I think an item swap is in your future. Okay, so she is no longer making death saves. Red, with your medicine check of 12, red is no longer making death saves, but she's unconscious. And is that
Okay.
I believe that's into your turn. You do have movement. Use your action to do the medicine check.
I'll stay right there.
Okay. Eli, it is your turn.
Can I save to unblind myself?
Nope.
No.
Not until the end of
Sorry.
my next turn.
So, unfortunately, you're seeing stars. You're hearing things going on around you. You might have heard somebody say, "No, red."
Well, I'm at my turn. I can't do anything.
Okay. Zephyr can't do anything either. And Zephyr's turn again. How long does the blinded effect last?
To the end of my next turn. which
okay.
it seems that everyone who's blinded goes right before me.
So I guess it's Zito's turn. If Eli, you're not doing anything on your turn.
I mean, I can't.
Okay.
You want to hold your action or something?
You can't. Unfortunately, I don't think you can.
Can I hold my action? Well, technically, I could hold my action.
Yeah, if you could see something, you can prepare to do something, but you can't see anything. So realistically, all you can do is hold your action to move, if you want to do that.
I can't start casting a spell or hold my action.
No, because you're blind. Most spells, you have to see what you're casting at, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, nothing. I can't do anything.
Okay. Zito, you're rushing up towards the prone form of Red.
Yes, I'm going to do a Cure Wounds at 5th level.
Okay. Red, your eyes snap wide awake.
Ignore that last 10. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, you also didn't target her, so we'll have to manually adjust that. Let me manually put that on Red. There we go. Fun fact, you can grab, if you fail to target something, you can grab that damage, heal, whatever it is, and manually grab and drop it onto the one you want to target. So Red is awake. Music, it is your turn, sir. You see the big, dumb flying angel zapping people, flying about 40 feet up off of the ground right now.
Yeah, but it's about 40 feet off the ground.
Yep.
Also, Zephyr and Eli are no longer blinded. I don't know why they're not taking the condition off.
Okay, I'll take the blinded condition off. It might not be programmed in. It's no worries.
Give me 1 second. I'm just looking here.
I apologize, guys. We didn't take a break. Guys kind of just got Rochambeaued into a fight. I'm sorry.
Hey, it happens.
It does happen.
Okay, I'm getting bored watching Hanish Jim run around stupid. I am now going to cast, let me make sure that Hex is still on it. Remember, Hex has a tendency to go off of people.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure it's still attached. Okay. And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on him at 3rd level.
On Hanish Jim?
Yep.
Go for it. He rolled a natural 1 on his wisdom save. And that's 17 psychic necrotic damage to Hanish Jim.
All right. Now I'm going to use my movement to go this way.
He snaps, he starts shaking his head, and he's looking at his flaming warhammer like, what was just happening? Music, as you turn and look down, you see that white cat is standing not too far away from you and is looking at you. And it now has a purplish, blackish blue gemstone embedded in its forehead.
It's a Pokemon. I have my turn.
On Essa's turn, Essa is going to aim its lightning at you, Lathana. Because it's a thing it does. Lathana, it misses with its first attack. Tries to hit again. Critically hitting you this time. And dealing 36 lightning damage to you, and you fail your concentration check as your hex is no longer on the field of battle. Red, make a dexterity saving throw. Okay. That is a failure on Red. Red takes 13 lightning damage as the bolt that hits you, Luthana, arcs out and hits her. And the flux charger now is flying up back into the cloud cover.
Would it also hit the magnum?
No, it aims at a second target. It's like something that bounces off of you and then goes to a second target. And it's your turn, Luthana. It's starting to fly up. It's almost in the cloud cover and gone.
Luthana will once again cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And sharpshoot.
Okay.
And try to bring it down.
All right. I believe that's unfortunately a miss.
I shall try one more time. Come on.
But that's a hit. Luthana, your arrow arcs across, catching the creature in its face, going through, exploding its head, and shrapnel rains on the tile ground around it as it crashes into the ground.
End of turn.
Okay. And Red, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to recklessly bite at the magum.
That's a hit. Okay.
I'll also swing my sword.
That's critical hit. It only had 1 hit point left.
And then dex save.
Yep, I need dex saves from Zephyr and Eli. I'll go ahead and target Zephyr and have him roll. And he succeeds, and he takes half of that. So you take 3. Eli, did you roll your save? Did you roll a save, Luthana?
Oh, no, not yet. Oh, that's con. Sorry.
That's okay. Hey, you saved. So you're going to take half of that damage. There we go. Magman is gone. The only one left on the battle is a very confused, fiery dwarf-looking creature.
Jimmy!
I'm going to run over to him. He's shaking his fiery head. His mane is flapping in the wind.
And I will attack recklessly.
And that's a hit. That's 18 slashing magical damage to Hanish Gem.
And that's it.
Okay. Hanish Gem turns around and looks in your direction, Red, and tries to wallop you with its warhammer. Oh, I just forgot something. How many times did you hit him?
Once.
Once. Okay. As you hit him, you take 5 fire damage as fire rebounds off of his heated body. He then whacks you, or at least attempts to whack you with his warhammer, and manages to hit you, overhand striking you, and dealing 18 damage reduced down to 11. And Zito, it's your turn. Come on, Zito, bring it home, guy.
Shoot. Zito is going to do Shatter at 5th level.
Okay.
I'm going to place it back there so I won't accidentally kill Red.
He fails. And you watch as Heinous Jim explodes, his warhammer whipping end over end. And you are all out of combat.
Yay.
Eli turns to his friend and says, always saving your ass.
I am sorry, my friend. I used magic to twist my thoughts, force me to bring you here.
Well, I believe in the... Save your life, you know. I believe it could be 3 wishes would make up for it.
And he just looks at you and just, don't push your luck, Stormbringer. And as he says that, you all hear a strange warbling noise coming from across this little Parthenon-like structure. And the white, fluffy cat becomes no longer a white, fluffy cat. Is now a mangy, matted gray fur with 2 wings protruding from its back.
It's the cat.
And it sort of sits on its haunches and folds its front arms, paws over, looking in all of your direction. And then it is gone. It scatters into dust. And for any of you who are curious, it looked like that.
It's the same cat.
Oh my gosh. Nathana's like, oh, I can't believe I touched that thing.
Cute kitty.
Congratulations, guys.
I want to search the body of Garlic.
Okay. Don't really find anything of use. In fact, everything that you touch and pick up turns to dust. Almost as if everything, including the clothing it was wearing, was manifested.
Can I cast Magic Circle in the Flux Charger, then raise it from the dead?
I don't think that's how that works. It's technically not a living creature. It's a construct. Not in the way, not in the way that how Warforged works.
Oh wow!
I know.
Can Zio take that core of that Emma electric thing?
Can you take its core? It's pretty much a pile of rubble right now.
That's what all constructs are.
True.
So
You can take parts from it and see if it's something worth your time later, if you'd like.
I would do that.
In the meantime, I'll award you all 3,030 experience points for that encounter.
Wow.
Nice.
You can tell your companions that they missed out on quite a bit of experience points tonight.
So,
I'm sure that they found a way to make up for it.
guys, do y'all want to go rest somewhere, or do I need to start passing out potions?
Can we go home? Nathana's kind of saying this, and she's like dripping blood, and she's like, man, maybe I'm not an insomniac tonight after all. I could use a nap.
And your friend, he looks at all of you and he says, I'm exhausted. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do at the moment. I can't even fulfill the promise that I made to your companion Eli here. But I might be able to do something to get us out of here. Something tells me we don't want to stay here. as he gestures out beyond this tiny island, an oppressive heat from a light source that seems to be everywhere, bearing down on you all, pointing to these trees that seem to be made of metal. And endless fields of gray, sparkling grass. He looks to you all and he says, I could be mistaken, but I think that we have been taken to the Iron Lands.
I've never heard of that toy. It's been a while since I've read something. What do we do?
It is a demoplane. It is a metallic landscape filled with adamantine trees that grow razor-sharp leaves. And the very grass that grows in this place is made of iron blades that cut through soft shoes. This is not a place you want to stay. But I might be able to help you all, if you'll give me a moment. And he drifts away from you and kneels down on the ground and closes his eyes. And he begins drawing a mark on the ground. And what are you all doing during this time?
I want to search the chair and see if that scroll or that thing they took.
You find a scroll.
Is it the same thing that I signed?
It is.
I grabbed that.
Okay.
I said I want to walk up to him. I said, "Get rid of this. How do I destroy this?"
To him, you're interrupting him while he's trying to help you.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll wait until he's done.
He is painting with his own blood, apparently, a symbol on the ground that looks like this.
Okay, now I'll wait until he's done.
Okay.
But I have the contract at least.
As he finishes the symbol, it begins to glow. And the wind whips up a bit. And the wind becomes more intense. And suddenly it seems unbearable. As the whirlwind seems to take shape and form, rising up over this island. And it begins to dissipate as a gaunt, dark-skinned human with wispy white hair and glowing white eyes strides out from the whirlwind. And it regards you all with grim look on its face. Why have you summoned me, Zephyr? You know I can't stay here long. And the djinn now bows its head and says, My master, I had to. I had no choice. My allies and I were trapped here in this demi-plane. Please, can you help them for me? And this dark-skinned individual just sort of looks out, and looks at each of you and says, That I can do. I will help your companions. And he gestures out with his left hand. And as he does so, a gateway that seems to be lined with razors begins to tear open in reality. And it makes this horrible discordant sound of metal on metal as it does so. And you now see a familiar sight of a darkened forest swamp beyond. What do you all wish to do?
Cartwheel.
Cartwheel it is. So you're all going through?
I'm
Before I go through,
sprinting out of there.
Okay.
I want to ask his master a question.
He looks at you and he says, What do you want, mortal?
I show him the scroll. I said, I was tricked. Can you end this?
He looks at you and says, My friend, there's only one way to end that.
And which is?
You must travel to Shavarath.
You can't grant wishes.
Sure, I could. Why would I want to?
Because we saved your friend. And in doing so...
Saved a friend. You mortals. Pompous. Rude. Always assuming beings greater than you will do your bidding. I am aware of this arrangement that you have with my subordinate, and he will honor that arrangement with nothing else. And he starts to turn, and he bridges his fingers, spreading them, and he says, Unless you do something in return for me. And he turns and grins.
What is it? I'd rather serve you than this.
Oh, I'm quite certain. Being a lackey of an ancient psionic vampire most definitely would not be a fate that any mortal would want. But I will help you under one condition. I will break this contract for you. If you find something for me.
What do you need found?
An acolyte of mine was gifted a very mighty spear called Vinsif, with the promise of fostering relations between Syrania and the material plane, becoming a prophet of Syrania. That prophet went silent many years ago, and the spear was lost. I wish for you to retrieve Vinsif and bring it back to me. If you do this, I will break your contract.
All right, I will do that.
And as he says this, he's been slowly pushing all of you that remain in this realm out of this place, and he passes through the gate, which with a sound of crunching metal closes behind him. And he looks to each of you and says, if we have an accord, I see no reason for me to remain here any longer.
Well, hold on a second. We've been working out a deal with you and everything. We don't even know where you're from. Would you say you're like a fiend or a celestial? You called us mortals. What are you?
I am Khan Jax. You can call me simply Khan. And it has been your honor to have me in your presence. And with that, he reaches out, creates a gateway that is ringed with a silvery blue light, revealing the similar visage of what you saw when you were tricked into that demiplane of the Ironlands. But this time it seems to be much brighter, a much cleaner image of an azure blue sky that stretches on in infinity. And you can see off in the distance small dots of massive floating cities, a metropolis bigger than the city of Sharn floating out in the distance. And he passes through the gateway and looks back at you all. Honor the promise, Zephyr, and be done with them. Bring me Vinsif. Contact me when you find it. Goodbye, mortals. And the gateway slams shut.
Yeah, he better run.
Music is thinking to myself, I'm going to try to capture that motherfucker.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. That is exactly what I was getting ready to do. I was like, he gonna talk all that shit. If I bind him, I bet you he breaks that damn contract right now. Break the contract. Oh yeah, Eli needs 10 wishes.
So, Zephyr, bit bedraggled, a bit wore out, but healed by magic from you, Eli. Repeats the same ritual as he did before. You repeating the same words. If you would like to repeat them, you may.
No, I might rethink this.
You're going to rethink it? You're not going to take it now?
I might actually break this contract right here and now.
That's up to you.
Mm.
You can either break the contract or you can accomplish what you've been trying desperately to do for weeks.
Eli,
Yes.
come over here off to the side. Let's speak for a second.
All right. Just 1 second here.
It is past 10, so it's up to you guys if you want to continue. We can end now. We can pick this up next time.
Let me just mention this to Eli, and I think I'll be ready to call it a night. Okay, away from everybody else where nobody can really hear us, I'm going to tell Eli
about how many feet? How many feet
I'm not Eli. I'm not Eli. We're going about 500 feet away.
Okay, so the rest of the group, including Zephyr, watches you two wander off into the woods. Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling them up front.
What
Hey
are
guys, stay here. I need to talk to Eli.
What are the rest of the group doing while you guys are off doing that?
Did Zito find anything useful in that scrap pile?
Yes, you did. You found something that strikingly similar to what Eli carries around his neck. But it seems broken.
I'll see what I can do with that.
Okay. What about you, Red? You and Lathana are pretty hurt.
I'm going to just go sit and just curse magic really
Curse
loudly.
magic?
And I'm going to this one will never trust the magic man again. Go here. He says, it is nice, he says. Liar. They would be dead without me.
It's true. If Red wasn't there, you guys probably would have all died.
I can handle it.
Music could have probably survived, but I don't know about the rest of you guys. All right, so if nobody else is doing anything while this is going on, what do you say to Eli, Music?
All right, Eli, check this out. We've got a golden opportunity here. You've got your friend over there, and he's working for this other guy. Now, we saw where he went. I'm pretty sure his origin is celestial. All we got to do is go on this little quest for him, get his little spear, and then when it comes time to go give it to him, we lay a trap. Bind him, send him, make him break the contract, send him on his merry way, keep the spear and whatever else we want in the process. And yeah, possibly make a powerful enemy, but that's what powerful people do. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's a bad idea, but we could try. I mean, you saw how powerful he is.
No, I didn't. I just saw him open up a gate. I could do that if I knew the right spell. I mean, it's not that impressive. I see people do that all the time.
Yes, but I need your help. Can you convince him to give me 2 wishes?
What? The genie? Zephyr?
Zephyr, try. Just try. You have a way with words. Play music. We can end it all here.
You just want me to bind him and make him do it?
No, don't bind him. Just persuade him with words.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going back to the
Hey, and I said here, this is the reason
Music
why.
starts walking away.
Music. And this is the reason why.
Yeah.
1 for the genie bottle we gave him, and 1 for saving his life. 2.
Hey, we don't need a reason. I just gotta go over there and introduce myself. Ask him if I can have a wish too, and then I'll give it to you.
Saving his life was 1. Genie bottle was another.
Well, see, I'm not his friend. I don't know this guy. I figure he owes me 1, and I'll just give that 1 to you.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so you guys wandering back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not ask him now, but he needs to rest.
You guys are, by the way, this is not taking place near the camp. You got deposited, you're not entirely certain where, but somewhere very far away from the camp.
Well, hopefully those damn bugs can't find me then.
Oh no, you're covered in them. You're like a freaking light bright. And you all notice that you have your little lightning bug has found you again.
I got mine in the bottle. So now I got 2 bugs in a bottle.
Maybe. So you wander back. Music and Eli come back out of the dark. Music on the you all saw him coming from a mile away, glowing like a glow stick. At a rate.
1 second, Jeremy. These bugs seem to be somewhat intelligent. Let me just try something. Could y'all not just please go somewhere else? Like, if one of you wants to hang out, that's fine, but the rest of you, please get off me.
There's a fluttering noise as they all scatter out from your body, and now only one of them floats next to your head. The rest of them slowly begin to fade off, going up towards the tree canopy into the night air.
Thanks, guys. You're the best.
You now no longer have a permanent disadvantage to stealth checks.
Nice.
So Zephyr is sort of looking at you all, looking a bit winded, even after being healed by you, Eli. What would you like to do?
Music.
Zephyr, I really don't know you. And I don't know what's going on with you and Eli, but after today, you owe me 1.
Well, keep in mind, unless I ask for a persuasion check, I don't want you guys rolling checks. Just keep that in mind. Going forward. That's not how it works. You don't just say something and then roll a check. If I don't ask for a check, you don't roll the check.
What, I can't just go at the bad guys and say kill yourself and then roll persuasion?
That's not how it works. It's not how persuasion works. That's not how checks work. I have to ask you for a check, and then you roll it.
Well, there just went my superpower.
I'm sorry. You can just have a conversation with him instead of trying to force him to do things. That's up to you.
I think we can, but I think it should wait till the next time we play.
Okay. If Eli is okay with postponing until the beginning of next Sunday,
I guess that's fine.
It's up to you guys. I'll give Eli some time, Eli/Derek time to think about it and what he wants to do. Eli, there, as the night air, the night sky is filled with the ring of Sybaris, this golden band of this condensed golden light, like the rings of Saturn, which arcs up at an angle through the sky, up and over and around. You all hear the sounds of the swamp at night, sounds of creatures all around you. Somewhere off in the distance, very faintly, you hear the sounds of individuals talking, potentially your traveling companions from the camp, guarding the sleeping forms of your companions, Auri and Ender. Eli, as you glance at the tube containing the parchment paper this seeming contract. You turn your hand over, and as you do, you now see a symbol that you didn't notice there before, carved into your skin, bleeding. It is a skull-like visage with a ring of horns arcing up. A screaming skull. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.